Okay, let's do this, peeps. I think we're connected now. Cool, we are. So, gonna give it a minute, obviously. Wait for you guys to hop on in. If you guys are watching the replay of tonight's live stream, just make sure to go ahead and flash forward if you'd like, or you can sit and hang around and listen to the intro stuff. Honestly, we talk about a lot of good stuff usually in the intro as well, or in the beginning of our videos as well anyway. So if you Freddie, you did it on purpose. I knew it. Yeah, you did it on purpose. That's why it was so quick and so short. Do you outsource? Not to mention something you definitely know I do. But you guys, as you're hopping in, just do me a favor and hit that like button, or the thumbs up button rather, and also just write a comment saying hello, so that way other people just like you can hop in and we can have a good time tonight. It's always fun when we have more people in here. Jamie, hi, how are you? Sorry that I'm keeping your boyfriend so busy, but it'll pay off here. After this month, we should, well, I mean, we're still not going to be able to slow down too much, but at least we won't have this course looming, because we have the 2.0 program coming very soon. It's going to be towards the end of this month. We're making sure that all of our guest trainers really have enough time to get everything together for on their end. You know, they have jobs that are completely separate from mine, and they're taking time out of their days and schedules to make sure that they're getting us the most quality content. So I'm stupid excited about that. And trust me, you guys are going to love this new program. We are putting so much money, time, and effort into this program. Like, we've made several programs now. We're getting really, really good at building quality content and quality courses that actually help people further their business and further their agency. So we took a lot of time and effort, and again, money, because trust me, guys, we don't just, make a course and there's, at this point at least, the first one, it didn't cost us as much, right? But this one we're putting everything into, and what I mean by that is just better quality trainings, by video and audio content, by better documentation. All of our documents have really cool themes to go along with them, so that's going to be exciting. I'm stupid excited for all of this to come out, and trust me, you guys, it's going to be fun. You're going to like it. If you're not in the 2.0 course, or if you're not in the 1.0 course, then make sure to get involved. The cool thing is, if you join the 1.0, you only have to spend $100 more to get the 2.0, and you're getting access to both courses for pretty much $600 in total. So you can't really beat that deal. 2 courses for the price of 1 pretty much is what you're getting right there. But again, you guys just write hello if you're just hopping in, and also hit that thumbs up. We're going to get started here in just a sec. So I'm going to run through here and do some roll call, if you will, or at least say hello to people. Jamie, we've already discussed, and yes, I saw your message, even though it didn't show. Freddie, what's going on? Daniel? Is it Daniel, or is that still Daniel? Like, I guess that's really the same thing. Daniel or Daniel. They kind of sound the same. How do you pronounce it? Is it Daniel or Daniel? One or two. You tell me. Qin, what's going on, man? Nathan, what's up? Gonzo Garcia, listening to me while driving. Good. Don't watch. Abdullah Brown, what's going on? Freddie, I've already said hey to you. He's excited for 2.0. Nico starts with a question again. What's up, man? Joshua, what's up? Jaquez, Nuyo, Fawaz, Ali, what's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Again, we're going to get started here in just a second. If you guys haven't taken the time to, though, at least ever before, I also want to make sure that you guys know this exists. But right below this video, there's a description of this video, and we include, and this is for every video we make on YouTube, by the way, and I'm not saying, because there's really not anything we're selling down there. It's all resources and tools. So if you guys haven't checked out any of our YouTube descriptions before, make sure you do those do that in pretty much every video, because we'll try and include special tools or links or resources that are unique to each individual video, and pretty much all of the live ones are the same, but there's tons of really great content, tools, resources that you might not be aware of if you're ever trying to start your own brand or anything like that, or maybe you just want to do your own recording. Like, I don't know, if you want to record your clients content and stuff like that, if you want to keep that in house, all of those links for tools that we use, camera equipment, books that we read, social links, we have a podcast, Spotify playlist. If you like to jam throughout the day, I've built a playlist for entrepreneurs that'll keep you pumped up, all kinds of stuff. Make sure you check out right below in the description. Fawaz says, wow, a lot of people pronounce my name on the wrong on the first try, but you did. Can't pronounce my name on the first try, but I did. Good. I'm glad I did. I'm pretty good at getting names, guys. Like, I get that a lot. Like, most people come in here and they have a name, because we get people from all over the world and they just have a name that's hard to pronounce. I'm like, I'm going to try this one. But all right, guys, now that we're started, everybody said hello. Make sure to put all of your questions about starting a marketing agency, building a personal brand, marketing campaigns, whether it be social, SEO, pay-per-click, anything that you guys want to know. Because I think we talk a lot about landing clients, which I understand. You guys want to make money, and the only way you can make money is if you land clients. But if we can, tonight, let's try and focus on keeping our content around digital marketing, or keeping our questions around digital marketing. And the reason why is because you all want to land clients. The more you understand digital marketing and how the services work, how they are used to build a campaign properly, the more you understand, the more you're going to be able to explain to a business owner clearly the information that they need to receive to be in a position to where they want to buy, right? Because a lot of people mess up when it comes to selling the service, and it's not because they don't necessarily know what the service is, but they don't truly understand how the service works. And if you don't understand how it works, it's hard to sell that specific service. Not to mention, if you don't understand the service, it's going to be hard for you to find teams or people to outsource the work to. It's going to be hard for you to go back and build a campaign once you actually land that client. That's another big mistake that people make, is they'll go out and try to land a client, or they do land a client, and then that client expects them to get results, but they don't even know how to start the campaign. I can't tell you guys how many times I get people who already have clients, or they are in the process of landing a client, and then they get to the point where they have to start building the campaign, and they come to me and say, hey, I just landed this client. How should I run Facebook ads? It's like, whoa. What do you mean you just landed a client? You don't know how to, you sold them Facebook ads and you don't know how to do it. Okay, that's fine. Do you at least understand how the campaign should be built, so that way you can go and outsource the project, right? And so that's where a lot of people mess up. So, let's talk more tonight about digital marketing, actual services that we're providing. If you guys don't truly understand SEO, because people think they understand SEO, and the more that I learn about SEO, you just realize how many pieces there are to running a successful SEO campaign or being optimized for search engines. There's so much to go to that. But PPC, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, email marketing and automation, which nobody discusses anymore. I get that messenger automations are great, but guys, email marketing, we kill it with email marketing. And a ton of businesses out there can kill it with email marketing too, if it's done properly. The biggest mistake, for example, with email campaigns that people make when they make an automation, they don't focus on intent. And a big deal when creating email campaigns is understanding who you're delivering a message to and what their interest or intent is. Right? Why did they sign up for that list? What did they come in for? And then from the point where they actually subscribe to a list, what other interests do they have? And you can get all of that information by setting up tags and things like that within your automation. But a lot of people just send a series of emails and they just blast them off based on a time period, like a set of days, 1 day, every 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, 1 day. That's not how automation is built. It should be based on actions that people are taking or intent that people have expressed via taking an action by signing up for an email list with a specific intent, or even starting off with a broader message. So for example, this is kind of how we do it with Smma, with our courses. We start off with a broader message, how to start a marketing agency, but we realize underneath that umbrella, there's several different categories. There's probably 8 to 10 different categories, maybe even more than that we have to discuss. But not every person coming through that one email list who started off with the broad Smma list is going to be interested in every single piece of content that we have about starting a marketing agency. Maybe they're already comfortable with setting up the business side of things. They just want to know about Facebook ads and they want to know about SEO. Maybe those are the only two things they're just not really 100% on. So, that being said, let me take a breath. because you guys know I talk fast. But that being said, if they want to know about SEO and Facebook ads, that means somewhere in our email messaging, in our content that we deliver to them, we need to have links that are attached to topics based in Facebook ads and SEO. Because if they're reading an email and just say the message is, and if you want more training on Facebook ads, SEO, Instagram marketing, and it just keeps going on with a list of other things. And maybe we include that at the bottom of the email, but they read through that and they click on SEO. We're going to tag that person and make sure we send them more content or enter them into an automation on SEO. So that's what I want you guys to realize. There are so many good things about marketing, but most people don't truly understand how they work and how that email marketing campaign that we just talked about could integrate into a Facebook ads campaign. Because, for example, with my email marketing audiences, if you use ActiveCampaign, which is why I love ActiveCampaign, if you haven't used that before, again, the link's right below in the description. We have a link there for you. I believe you get a big discount because it's through the partner program we have with them. But ActiveCampaign has a way for you to tag people who have seen a specific email. And I can actually it's automatically done. It'll create a Facebook audience in Facebook Business Manager for me. So that way I can remarket people who have seen that specific email. Understanding how these different campaigns can work together, though, to build results and leads and engagement and all of the things you guys are looking for is really how you're going to be able to land clients. Because if you can't explain how all of that works, and not in a way where it's super in detail, right? Like if it's super detailed, you're going to lose them. You have to be able to dumb it down in a way where you can draw it out like it's stick figure drawing to where they'll understand it. And that's how you have to be able to describe the service. But if you don't understand it, you're not going to be able to describe that service to a potential client. So let me look at some of these messages we got while I was going through that. Which CRM do you recommend, if any? I would definitely have to go, it just depends. HubSpot is a decent CRM for marketers. I don't want to say decent. It's a good CRM for marketers. Decent isn't good enough. But what was I going? Let me see. That's what it was. Zoho. I couldn't remember. I have never used Zoho, but a lot of marketers prefer to use Zoho. So if that's for you, then definitely check out Zoho. But I don't really like it. I don't know. I'm partial to Salesforce, but that's because I started using Salesforce when I was back in Jacksonville, and I kind of got used to how the whole system works. So if I have to pick one for myself, I'm going to pick Salesforce. The only issue with Salesforce is it's super expensive, especially their marketing-based CRM software, like crazy expensive, like how much that stuff costs. You have to be making tens of thousands of dollars and several tens of thousands of dollars per month to be able to afford that type of software, and also all of the other softwares and operations that you have to take care of on a week-to-week basis. But HubSpot is one of the cheaper ones that I've seen. Zoho, again, that was the one I was just looking up. I couldn't remember the name of it. And then Salesforce is one that I've, I don't want to say grown up on, but it's the one I first started off with when I started getting into that corporate industry. How can I target real estate agents? I've been doing a lot of real estate photography lately, but I'd like to get more. So, Freddie, the thing that you're trying to do photography for real estate agents, that's cool. I would caution you for two reasons. Number one, real estate photography is like its own niche. Like there are guys who are out there doing that full time. I know several of them in my area. They go out and they just do videography and photography full time. That would be my other thing, is if you're not doing videography, meaning drone footage, cinematic 4K footage, like you won't be able to get those clients as easily as those guys who do that full time and that's all they do. As far as getting real estate agents as clients, there's so many ways that you can get them. I recommend messaging their Facebook pages, their business Facebook pages, because that is a direct line usually to that real estate agent or at least real estate team. So Messenger has worked really, really well for me with real estate agents. The bigger firms, though, you're probably going to have a harder time getting a hold of the person who has decision-making power, but if you wanted to start with smaller teams first, build up your recognition and your authority in the niche in your local market, then it'd be much easier to come in later and start scooping up some of those larger agencies. Automation, yes, talk about that. I think I just talked a good bit about automation. We'll come back to that if we have more time later. Yes, and systems. I want a business, not a freelancing job. So, and that's what it really comes down to, guys. So, and I want you guys to understand this whole business owner mentality. Too many people get into, they take a course like mine, or they take Ty Lopez's course, or Billie Jean, or whatever, and they begin to think that they are the only ones who do anything within that agency. And number one, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you should never be the one down in the trenches unless it's like you just first starting off. That's really the only time that's acceptable. But even with an agency, it's hard to put yourself in every position and get all of the work done while at the same time scale your agency. So a big mistake that people make is they try to start taking on clients, and instead of trying to figure out what they could charge to basically their markup to hire someone like on a contract basis to perform the job that they need done to create the campaign for that client. So instead of going out and outsourcing, they'll just keep it all for themselves, or they'll outsource like one or two things and do the bulk majority of the work themselves, and that leaves them with no time to actually go out and scale their agency. Scaling your agency is not just internal operations and workflows and processes, things like that, but it's also getting clients, and you have to spend time generating new business. That's why when I first came into Jacksonville, one of the biggest things I had to focus on was new business. They didn't want me managing a bunch of their old clients who had been there a long time. Although they did give me some to manage, they wanted my focus to be driving in new business, and it's because it's number one, it's difficult. It's never easy. New business, I don't care who it is, what business you're in, it's never easy. There's always hard work involved with driving new business. But also it's what keeps you going in the agency business, because there are higher turnover rates in marketing agency world versus, other businesses where the turnover isn't as high with a client per se. And the reason why is because all kinds of factors affect marketing budgets, right? It could be a business going out, or it could be a company going out of business, and they have to pull their budget, or else they won't, or they're going to go out of business if they don't find money somewhere. So they'll cut the budget from the marketing campaign. There's several reasons why. So when it comes to having systems in place, the biggest thing you have to understand is as soon as you take on a client, my recommendation is before you get the client, I recommend setting up some sort of process for the campaigns you plan to run. So if you know that you're about to go pitch a client SEO services and Facebook ads for remarketing, right? Then, and even content creation, we'll say that's included too. Then you have to have a plan to actually execute what you're planning to do. If you're planning to do blog content, SEO optimization on the site, and remarketing with Facebook ads, how are you going to complete all of that work? Do you have an SEO manager in place? Do you have a Facebook ads manager in place? Do you have someone who can create the strategy? Are you that person, right? Do you understand Facebook ads enough, or do you understand sales funnels enough? Do you understand ad strategy enough to be able to create a campaign for that ad manager to then put on Facebook ads, or inside of Facebook Business Manager via Ads Manager, and deliver, right? So you have to have those things in place. So before you even get the client, that should be taken care of. But then after you get the client, or not even after, right before you get that client, you also should start going on platforms like FreeUp or Upwork and start finding freelancers that you can begin to hire for jobs that you plan to execute, right? For example, if you need Facebook ads, you're going to need a copywriter, and you're going to need a designer for sure, right? Because you have to create the copy for the ads, and you also have to figure out who's going to edit videos or photos for those ads, because you can't just put any old photo on there or video and expect to get results. Now, you can do those two jobs yourself. Yeah, you totally could. But again, remember, that's time you're spending not going out there and getting new clients, or finding better software for your business to use, finding ways to charge for new services, or adding on services to your service offering, right? Things like that are super important. So, the biggest thing I recommend is, even when it's just you and one client, number one, don't charge too little, so that way you can actually afford to go out and get contractors to take care of the work for you. A big issue that people have is they get in and then they don't charge enough, so then it's hard for them to pay for contractors. That's why when it comes down to pricing your services, you have to look at two primary things. What is the cost of the labor, and how much time is it going to take to get done? Outside of that, you have your fixed costs like software services, things like that. You will want to factor those in, but those aren't factored in, they're not factored in completely, right? Because they're based on a monthly payment. So it's a little different with fixed services. We can talk about that on another training. I don't want to get too deep into that, but just know that the primary two things that you have to look at to figure out your cost of services is the cost of labor and the time taken to get a job done. Now, time taken to get a job done is something that you're just going to have to sit there and put down to the best of your ability. If you don't have experience in, let's say, video editing, and you don't know how long that's going to take, then you need to get someone who can consult you. You need to talk to a video editor. Most of those people on FreeUp and Upwork, before you even hire them, you can give them a job and say, hey, I need an estimated time, I need to know the estimated time for you to complete this job. How many hours is it going to take you to do this? And if you can't provide me with that answer, then I can't hire you, because I need to know what my cost is going to be roughly. I need a range at least, so that way I can figure out what I need to charge that client so I don't lose money. So that way I'm actually profitable. I don't have to worry about managing it to the extent that I was going to have to. And now I can focus on going out and getting more clients, focusing on building better internal workflows and processes for my contractors to deliver work better. All of that is super important. So when it comes to, again, systems, that's pretty much my methodology. When you guys are starting off, stop going at it with the mentality of I have to do all of this. I have to be an expert in every single service. Like, I have people coming into my course, or not even coming into my course, people who come to my groups and things like that, and they'll ask questions, or even on my business pages, and they'll say like, Jordan, I need to learn web development. No, you do not. Like, trust me, you don't want to learn web development. If you're just starting now and you want to actually start an agency, you don't have time to learn web development. That is way too complicated. Like, you actually have to learn Java, you have to learn different coding languages to be able to do that, and it is not something you just learn in a week and a half. Like, I just had a ton of friends who were in college, and that's what they did, was software development. And every week they're coming at me like, I hate JavaScript, blah, 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 or whatever language it was that they were trying to learn, right? So just understand that it's not always about being a professional at every single job to the extent to where you're the one who can do it. Like, I don't know how to develop a website. I know what needs to be done from a marketing perspective on a website. And there's still things that I'm learning about web development and marketing that I didn't know before. Like, there are so many things with web development, making sure that it's optimized for SEO, but not even just optimized for SEO. User experiences, things are changing with HTML and how people develop sites. So it's just interesting to see over time, but you have to stay on top of it. And the more you have systems in place, the more you're able to stay on top of those types of changes. Q asks, hey Jordan, so when you IG test your cold ads, are people still falling through the funnel as you're IG testing? And do you split test with multiple funnel and retargeting ads? When you IG test your cold ads, are people still falling through your funnel as you're IG testing? Q, I'm not 100% certain what you mean. What do you mean by falling through the funnel as my IG testing? And you split test with multiple funnel. Yeah, so a funnel is, you should look at a funnel as not search intent, but user intent. A funnel basically says, okay, this specific user has an interest in whatever this topic is, right? But if I'm a business, I have multiple reasons why a person might be interested in a product or service. For example, a chiropractor doesn't just focus on people, like, yes, so they focus on people who are in pain, but not only that, what kind of pain? Because pain is relative to everybody, but everybody doesn't go to the chiropractor. So what pain specifically? Foot pain, back pain, neck pain, spinal pain, whatever. Like, that's what a chiropractor does primarily. So when you're targeting your ads or you're building funnels, right, you have to understand what each user's intent is. If you're building a funnel that's just general though, and you're talking about feet and back, but they have neck problems, you're not relating to that user, right? So the idea behind creating a sales funnel is, okay, we're going to create one funnel for back pain, one for neck pain, and one for, let's say, foot pain. Maybe those are the three primary services a business has, that chiropractor has, right? You don't want to do one for every single service they offer, because they don't sell all of their services like they do, say, their flagship services. And maybe that's what they want to focus on, because they know that's what drives their bottom line. So we're not going to build campaigns and funnels for every single thing that the doctor promotes, because we can sell those later, right? We have to build first. We have to build momentum. We have to get a positive ROI for that business before they will ever give us any more money or ad budget. If we're not making them money, why would they give us more, right? So in the beginning, we're just focusing on building ROI. with a new client. That's it. So focus on the primary services that they offer, and what we'll do is we'll build funnels for each one of those three. So we'll have content based around neck pain, content based around back pain, and then content based around foot pain. From here, we're just driving people through the next steps. Now, after they're aware of our service and we've provided maybe some information or value to those people, or we've at least captured their attention, the next step is to give them the reasons why we're the business that they should buy from, right? You guys really need, if you're hearing me right now, I need you to do something. If you have not done this before, I want you to do extensive research on the sales cycle and the sales funnel, okay? I'm not talking about go find one article that's 1,000 words long. I'm talking about go find something that's 3 to 4 pages long at the minimum and read about each stage of the sales cycle and what a person is going through mentally and psychologically, right? This is what is important to understand, because once you understand the sales cycle, it doesn't matter what kind of content you're building or what kind of ad campaigns you're building. It's pretty much the same every single time. Capture interest, give them information, provide value. After that, build trust, give them reasons why you're better than the competition, and show your authority in that industry. From there, if they still don't buy, give them another reason to buy. Give them that one-time offer, or give them that, free consultation, or your first month free, or buy one, get one. Whatever that offer is that's going to bring them into the location one time. From there, it's on that business owner to do their job as the best in their industry to provide that service to them that makes them come back, right? And then your job, after they provide that amazing service, is to go on Facebook and create a campaign to follow up with those people who just received that amazing service and ask them to come back again. That's all good marketing is. It doesn't matter what business we're talking about. It doesn't matter what product, what service, any of that. The process is the exact same. You're finding a way to, at the first stage, intrigue someone, capture their interest, right? So do something fun, off the wall, crazy, a special offer, something like that. Once you get them interested, and you know they're interested based on actions they've taken by subscribing or viewing extensive amounts of video content, clicking on links or whatever it is, once you know that they're interested, visiting a sales page, visiting your website in general, period, right? Once you know what interests them, or once you know that they have an interest, from there, you're just trying to convince them why you're the best. And some people are going to keep flowing through or fall out. Maybe they just liked that initial video that you showed them, but they don't actually want to buy. That happens. But those people who did have an interest, who potentially want to buy, they're going to keep going through your sales funnel all the way till the very end. And again, they don't necessarily even make it to the end. Sometimes people go through the sales funnel. They'll go through a sales funnel psychologically or mentally before they even make it through your cold traffic style ads, right? They've already decided they want it. And then sometimes let's go with an impulse product, right? Let's say it's a $4, I don't know, those fidget spinners, right? They were like $3. So nobody really cared about the price. Your sales funnel or your sales cycle is pique their interest, show them one little video of everybody having fun, but not only that, why your fidget spinners are the best, all in the same video, right? And you've already sold them because it was a $4 spend. Sometimes that sales cycle is so quick, but sometimes the sales cycle is extended, and it takes time to build trust and to make them want to do business with you or to like you. So you have to understand that, and that's why it takes you really have to look at the products and services in the industry itself to understand what's going on and how to build your campaign. Otherwise, you're shooting in the dark, right? So that was a long one. Okay. Let me see, where are we at? I'm looking to start an agency in Lawrenceville. So let me ask you, actually, before we get into that, where are we at? Let me ask you guys a question. I want people to respond to this because I truly want to know how much time would you say that you've spent studying sales cycles and sales funnels? Is it 1 to 5 hours, 6 to 10 hours, 10 to 20 hours, or 20 plus hours? I want you guys to write your answer: 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 plus hours. How many hours would you say you spent studying or researching the sales cycle and sales funnels? Because I want you guys to realize, because I'm going to give you guys some feedback based on your answers. Okay? Because if you don't understand that concept, marketing in general is not going to be easy for you if you don't understand the sales funnel and the sales cycle. That is really the basis of every single marketing campaign ever created. So I would say at the very least, guys, if you're in the agency business, you need to be at that 10 to 20 hour range at the very least. My honest opinion is obviously going to be way more, because there is so much to learn and to understand about the sales cycle, but not only understanding the sales cycle in general, but how it relates to each different type of digital marketing service, where each service can differ, where each service could be used. For example, pay-per-click campaigns. If you're running Google ad campaigns, right? Those are primarily used in the cold and warm traffic sections of the funnel. Usually you're not doing too much remarketing. And when I even say the warm traffic sections of your funnel, you're not hitting it. A lot of the times you're not hitting that user from a previous ad. They're just seeing that ad right there, and it's a service that they needed right then. That's the best part about pay-per-click, is it's right when a user is usually looking for that service. But sometimes, say for example, I wanted to learn about on-site optimization. There are companies out there like Moz, Neil Patel, that are spending on ads to attract me to a blog article on that specific topic, on on-page optimization. Now, again, they're SEO-related companies, but they do understand the value of pay-per-click, so they're not going to put it aside completely. But I want you guys to understand that the sales cycle is so different for every single business and every single product and service that you truly have to be able to look at each individual service itself that you offer: pay-per-click, email, SEO, social, ad management, content creation, any of those services. You have to understand how they could apply potentially to each part of the sales funnel, and where they truly have a benefit versus where they don't, right? So I'm getting 1 to 5, 6 to 10, less than 5 hours, 5 to 10, I bet 20 plus. Jason Beats, good stuff. Abdullah Brown, 20 plus. Qing 1 to 5, but I'll definitely do a lot of it now. Good, guys, and I'm serious, because this is going to help you so much with your campaigns, that it will bring a better understanding, really, of how to put everything together. And that's really the biggest issue, is if you don't understand where SEO is actually going to apply to a business, because SEO isn't part of the conversion phase of marketing, really. It can be, but usually SEO is all about that information search stage of the buying process, right? And that would be another one for you guys to look at. All of these terms that we're talking about are very, very similar. The buying process, you guys should look into that one too. If you guys haven't heard of the buying process, there are different stages of the buying process. There's the buyer's journey, but there's also the seller's journey. The seller's journey is the sales cycle, the sales funnel. The buyer's journey is it's related to the seller's journey, but it's different. There are different motivations, right? And so look into the buyer's journey as well. But guys, understanding the sales cycle, I promise you, and the sales funnel in general is going to help you so much more with your marketing campaigns. So Jason and Abdullah, I want to ask you guys this question, because you guys said 20 plus. How do you think you would fare if you were at that 1 to 5 hour range? Do you think there is a big difference in your understanding of the sales funnel with how much time you spent learning about it compared to back when you had only had an hour to 5 hours or somewhere in that range, studying that specific topic? What do you guys think? Do you think it was truly beneficial for you to understand that? And has it benefited your ability to create campaigns? Do you feel like you're constantly struggling to find how to put a campaign together, or do you feel like that understanding has helped you be able to put things together much more smoothly? That's my question to you guys. And you guys who are at 1 to 5 hours, do you truly feel like you know enough about the sales process or the sales funnel to feel comfortable enough to go out there and build a strong campaign? Do you think you know enough, or has this conversation that we've been having for the last however long confused you a little because you don't really truly understand each section? And it's okay, guys. Like, there is no wrong answer here, and I don't want anybody to feel bad. This is a safe space. No, it really is a safe space, because everybody starts somewhere, so I don't want you guys to feel afraid to say, no, I don't really know a lot about it. That's okay. That's why we're here. That's why you guys are here right now, is so we can discuss it and figure out where we need to make sure you're going in the right direction. No comparison. There's so much to learn. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. It really helps when it comes down to putting your campaigns together. How would you break down 20 hours to learn about sales? How would you break down 20 hours to learn about sales every week? Okay, so here's the thing with sales. You can read all day, right, about sales. And that's great. That's going to help you understand the theoretical side and the principles of sales are important to understand, but at the same time, it is in large part more about the practice that you get, because people can understand theory but still struggle to go out and just even talk to people and keep a conversation going smoothly, right? That's where you have to be. And so where does that come from? It comes from practice. So things like overcoming objections. I would spend tons of time overcoming objections and figuring out ways that people could potentially argue against buying your service. You should actually spend a lot more time figuring out what people would say to go against buying your service than you would spend on people who are all for it. Because the people who are all for it, they're easy, right? That is a done sale. But the people who aren't for it and they're reluctant or resistant to buying your service are going to be much harder to convince, right? But just because they're harder to convince doesn't mean they're not a sale. I've had several occasions where I've had a business owner in front of me and they're just like, I don't know, man. But after another meeting or after discussing a different point or putting them at ease about a specific objection that they might have had, their mind or their mentality about it starts to adjust and it starts to shift towards, okay, maybe this could be a benefit. Then once you get them coming back towards, okay, maybe this could be a benefit, you keep hitting them with more value and you keep showing them why there is a benefit and reminding them of the things that they said they wanted when they first reached out to you, right? You said you wanted more time back. You said you wanted to make more revenue, but we have to spend money to do that. And if we don't, then we're going to remain stagnant or grow at a super, super slow pace. To the point where when it does come time for you to want to retire, Mr. Business Owner, if you haven't made drastic changes or done something crazy that's going to help your business just explode, maybe a huge influx of cash or investment capital, if that doesn't happen, it's not financially possible for your business to grow at the rate that you're wanting. And you have to have more marketing to do that. So it comes down to being able to express those things to a business owner. And Jason says he's still learning. But Gonzo, again, when it comes down to 20 hours, I would focus a lot of that on practicing. And really the only way to practice is for you to get out there in front of business owners and start talking to them. Or get on the phone and start talking to them. Stop letting people tell you no. Because no is not a no. I mean, that's the first thing they were teaching us in sales, at least in my more in-person related training type of sales. It was always about getting them to say yes and staying away from no's, and no's aren't really no's. They're just excuses as to why they don't want to talk to you right that second or something like that. So when it comes down to hours, again, I would spend a lot of time practicing. I would probably spend at least half the time practicing and maybe the other 10 hours studying theory and principle, because again, the more you practice it, the better you will become, the more comfortable you'll become. Nobody likes an uncomfortable salesman. You can see it from a mile away when someone doesn't feel comfortable selling something that they're trying to sell, especially when it's a high ticket item. If it's several thousands of dollars, it's very clear to see when someone's not comfortable trying to sell that. So the more you practice at selling your digital marketing services, the more comfortable you're going to become, which means you're going to look good in front of that business owner who is throwing all these objections your way. And when you're prepared to answer those objections because you've been studying how to respond when someone says, oh, well, cost, it costs too much for me. Okay, well, that's fine, Mr. Business Owner. What we can do is we can lower the cost just a little bit and we can take off one or two of these services. These are really just to help inflate that ad campaign that we're going to run, but we don't necessarily need them. So we can lower your cost a little bit. And if we were able to do that, would you feel more comfortable? Or even better yet, one of the best things were, all right, if cost were no object, would this be something that you would buy? And then you get them saying, well, yeah, of course, if it was free, I would totally buy it. Okay, well, why would you buy it then versus now? Well, because I do see that Facebook ads could definitely be beneficial. And, showing up in search engine results is going to be huge for my business, especially since we don't now. So, I totally see why it could be valuable. Okay, so then what's stopping you from buying today? If you're telling me that this could be valuable and you're going to make money off of showing up on the first page of results and running Facebook ads, then why wouldn't you do that? And then they'll get to the real reason why it's too expensive. Oh, well, we just, we don't have time to manage all this. And that's just another objection that you're oh, okay, you don't have time. Well, Mr. Business Owner, that's the best part. You don't have to spend any time. You're going to give us a little time by making sure that we're following the direction you want to go and the messaging is right. And really, though, that's all on us. So it can't be time that's really bothering you because we're the ones managing it all. So, I mean, really, what is it, Mr. And then that's where they're going to get down to the real answer that you want to hear, usually. Scott Dunstan says, this is the best Q&A I've ever had. Makes sense now, the bigger picture. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it, Scott. I think it's been a pretty good comment. But that's why I'm saying I like to keep it away from selling clients, because if you feel comfortable with digital marketing and the acronym SWEPS, which if you guys don't know the acronym SWEPS by now, make sure to go after this video over to my channel and at least save the video for later. You don't have to watch it tonight because it is an extensive video, but save it for later or something. But go to my channel or type in on the search bar, just go to the search bar on YouTube and type in serial entrepreneur and then the acronym SWEPS. That's SWEPS, SWEPS. Like sweep, but sweep. Like a steak sweeps. Steak sweeps. Oh, I'm tired. I need to go. Okay, not steak sweeps. Sweepstakes, but it's like sweepstakes. That was a terrible way to put that, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. Oh, goodness. Where are we? Okay. I have found a potential client. It is a startup, so digital marketing is very beneficial for them to get their product and brand out. It is an app for electronic scooters. What could be a good price range to charge them, and how should I reach out to them? Like cold email, cold calling, etc. So, Vikram, here is my word of advice to you before I tell you how to reach out to them. The biggest thing you need to understand is that you said it first, they're a startup. If it's great that they have a great idea and a great product or a great app markets are super, super competitive, especially with things like you just mentioned. You said they wanted to do it for electric scooters. That's a huge market right now. Electric scooters, especially since they're placing them in all kinds of big cities in the US, and they have all these companies that are putting them out there like Uber. You can rent one for like $1, and then like once you're done, you just leave it in the freaking road. I don't know how that got passed in the city, but yeah, you can do that. But the issue is, if they're a startup, they might not have funding, meaning they're not going to be able to afford your services. And if they can, they're going to say, yeah, we have $500 a month, and that's all we can give you, which is not enough to be able to afford services or run a full-fledged marketing campaign, or at least something that's going to produce results. So the first thing I challenge you to do is figure out if they even have funding. Like, if you can't tell that they have funding, then it's going to be, again, it's just not going to be worth your time and effort to try and go after them, because they're not going to be able to afford you. If they have funding, though, maybe they've received, some form of investment in some way, right? And they actually want to market. You know that they're actually trying to market. That's good. And those people I would go after. You want to know what would be a good price to charge them, and how should I reach out to them? Well, reaching out to them is the same thing you would do with any other business. Email, phone call, message on Facebook. Go to their Facebook business page and message them, or send them some value. Don't ever just message them on Facebook. If you're going to message a business on Facebook, you better have something valuable to send them. That's just my 2 cents, or at least offer a free consultation or a free marketing strategy meetings. Those work better. Like, don't say consultation, guys. I hate that word, and I know that a lot of people out there hate that word. Say like a free marketing strategy session. That works so much better. Really think, and that's the thing people also don't understand with sales is all about the words you use. What sounds more enticing to you? And I'm asking this question. I want you guys to answer. What sounds more enticing? Consultation or free marketing strategy session? Right? I will usually say something like, hey, we know that, second quarter is about to wrap up. We're about to get into third quarter. We'd love to come by and do a free marketing strategy session with you for, what you should be doing in Q3 or Q4. Or we can even go into what you should be doing to prepare for 2020, right? And that's what you should actually do. But what do you guys think sounds more attractive? Do you think consultation does? And I want your honest opinion, because this is how I see it, right? This is my perception of that. Okay, so consultation or a free marketing strategy session? Nuyo says free marketing strategy session. Anybody else have a take on that or an opinion about that? And if not, then you guys need to wake up and be more responsive, because we're here to learn. And if you guys don't like learning, then I guess you don't want clients, or maybe you just don't want a successful agency. I don't know. Marketing strategy session. And if consultation sounds better to you, I want to know. Like, I want you guys to say that, because my perception is only my perception. Nathan says consultation sounds better to him, and that's okay. I'm truly asking because I want to know. To me, in my opinion, and from my experience, I've found that free marketing strategy session has worked better. If I say, hey, I'm going to come in and I'm going to teach you guys, or at least build out what you guys need to do for 2020 to start seeing better results, seeing more sales, more engagement, all of that, that's how I like to word it. But I was just curious about your thought on that. But anyways, a good price to charge them. I mean, again, that's going to be, there is no good price to charge them. Vikram, I would strongly suggest going to my YouTube channel or my website and visiting my blog and seeing or checking out my pricing articles there. There is no good price. I don't do packages. I don't do anything like that. And it's for a specific reason, because marketing should not be packaged. Like, even when you do it, say you're working in the same niche, that's fine. Like, you only do one niche. You only do chiropractors. We'll go back to that example. That's the only niche you do. That's fine. But even still, you should not have a packaged campaign that you reuse for every other business. Like, yeah, some of the strategy can be the same. I'm not saying that. But if you just do things cookie cutter, for every single business that you represent, you're going to have issues. I promise you, you will have issues later on down the road. Landing first client, ? Juan, I don't even know how to respond to that. Hi, Jordan. I found your videos and tutorials very systematic and useful. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience. Pooja Talwar. I think that's right. Pooja Talwar. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like them. Do you have a specific video that you would like to see, or a specific topic that you would like to see something on? I actually thought it was just reading only. Didn't think about the application of it. Thank you for taking some time to explain that. What did you say again? Yep. It's also application. That's right, the sales question. It is definitely also application, because I promise you, the more practice you get, the better you will be at selling things. I did not start off good, guys. Like, I seriously, like, I wish I had a recording of my first sales meeting when I was doing digital marketing. Like, because I had done sales before, and I even remember, like, when I was in college, for example, I'll tell you guys a little story about me. You might get a kick out of it, and then I might answer one or two more questions, and then we're going to wrap this evening up. But when I was in college, we were in the software development industry, and we were running a software company. Obviously, if I was in the software development industry. But during that time, you guys have all heard of QR codes right by now. Well, QR codes back in that time were brand new. Like, they weren't being used everywhere. Now they're universal. Everybody knows what a QR code is. They know how to use them, all of that, right? They know what they can do. They know the benefits of them. Well, this was a brand new technology back then, and smartphones were still, on the rise. People were just now getting into them heavily, like everybody. Even your grandparents have one, right? So the cool thing was, we were able to start building out these QR codes, and it literally took us like, dude, we could build out 1,000 QR codes in probably, it'd be several hours, but it wouldn't take a lot. And we could sell these QR codes a piece for like $100 a piece to auto dealerships, right? Because they could put them on each one of their cars. So we could do their entire inventory, all of the different years, makes, models, all of that, different features, all of that. And we could build an individual QR code for each one of those, along with the data that goes along with that vehicle attached to it. So that way a customer could come by and scan the QR code and get all of the information about that car on their phone. So maybe they start saving a little list. Honestly, that's what we should have done. I didn't even think about this till now, but we should have made a buddy app to go along with that stored everything for them. So it went along with, or just something inside of the app. Anyways, whole other topic. Let me not go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, so I went into a car dealership and we started selling these things, but I just remember I went into the biggest dealership in the college town where I was living at the time, because I was in college, and I went into this dealership and I asked to meet with the GM, and they said, okay, yeah, you can meet with him, and I told him about the idea and everything that we were doing, and I told him we were students at Georgia Southern, blah blah blah, and he was like, yeah, you can, he's interested, we'll set a meeting with you. So I go into, like 2-3 days later, and I'm sitting there with this GM, and I'm pitching him, right? I'm giving him the pitch. I had prepared, but this was still like I had never had real like pitch development training, like where you actually develop your pitch and how to sell the product or service that you're trying to sell. At that time, I had no formal training or experience. And so I'm just going in, and I had put together, what I was going to say in an outline basically, and all the points I wanted to cover, and the value it would provide, and how it would help them increase their sales and their customer retention. And so I started pitching all of this to him, and I think I'm like 20 years old. I don't even think I'm 21 yet. And so I'm pitching him this idea, and he's loving it. No, I was 21. And he's loving it, and he's eating it up. And he goes, at the very end of my pitch, he says, Jordan, I am super impressed. And I was like, why? He goes, well, because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm not going to be able to buy your QR codes. I am interested in them, but I'm not going to be able to buy them at this time. But I would like to offer you a full-time job selling cars here because I was super impressed with what you had to do. Do you have any interest in doing that? And I was just, at the time, it was really, like, I realize now that, I think he was like, I don't know. I couldn't honestly tell you what he was thinking. But he was impressed with my sales pitch, and it taught me something that day that even though I felt like I was stumbling a little bit, because I did feel like I was stumbling in that meeting, how people see you is completely different than what you're thinking in your head. But at the same time, I also felt like I had that natural ability of just being able to talk to just about anyone and not being or feeling anxious or conflicted about it. And so that was taken from, or that experience happened, and I took what I learned from that to keep going into more on sales. Because from that point, I started shifting into more of a sales, because I started off with just entrepreneurship, and then I took on marketing and sales as a dual major in the major that I was doing. And that's when I really got into learning about the sales cycle and sales funnels and everything like that. I don't even know how we got onto that conversation, but that was just a little story about me. I thought it was funny, because this guy's like, yeah, you want a full-time job? I was like, no, dude, I'm like full-time in college, and I'm doing this app thing. I didn't come here because I want to work for you. And he was like, yeah, you'll work from I think it was 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., 4 days a week. I was like, no, what would I do? Would I ever do anything else? I got school, I've got car sales, app, I would never sleep. So anyways, it's just a weird story. But that being said, the experience that I had and the practice that I was able to gain was what allowed me to get better at sales over time, and then I go in, and that's where I was going with this. So I get to Jacksonville, and I had my first sales meeting with my first potential client, and I just went in there shaky, sweating, stumbling over my words, at a loss for breath because I'm talking too fast and I'm not breathing. It was, oh God. And I just remember walking out of there saying, I know you're probably not going to buy from me, and that's okay. I will be honest with you. This was my very first sales meeting, and, it didn't go as I had planned, but I think I did okay. And they were like, no, you did a great job. It's just not something that we really need. We already have something we're working on, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you did great. Although I know she was probably just sugarcoating a little bit for me so she didn't hurt my feelings, but I know the truth. And it wasn't great, but I got so much better. I just kept going back in, and I would go find a bunch of the sales reps that were at my station, because that was the one thing. That's the only reason they didn't promote me, was because I wasn't as experienced in sales yet. But, I would go grab my sales reps that I worked with, so coworkers, and basically say, hey, look, I have a client that I'm going to pitch to tomorrow. Can I pitch to you? And you sit there and just be that client for me. I did that several times. I would go over it at my house by myself and pretend to be both roles if I had to several times. So guys, it comes down to practice. With sales, it is all about practice. All right. Any tips on first meeting with a potential client in real estate? I'm not sure what that plus means. Tips on a first meeting with a potential client in real estate. One of the biggest things I like to do with real estate agents, and it's because usually they're so bad at it, is you always want to go in there providing some form of value, right? Because if you don't provide value, then they have no use in listening to you, or they don't have any they don't have any motivation, rather, to listen to you. So what I like to do with real estate, and not even just real estate, really this is a lot of businesses, because the primary thing that we sell is social media marketing, right? At least to business owners. And outside of that, you should primarily also be selling SEO, in my opinion, because SEO followed up with some form of social remarketing campaign works really well for pretty much any business in a local setting. So what I would go into that business with, and again, I use this with a lot of businesses, I usually just put the Facebook pixel checker on my Google Chrome browser. It's always on my Chrome browser. If you don't know what that is, the Facebook Pixel Helper tool, I believe that's the exact, no, it's just Facebook Pixel Helper. It's the name of the tool. You have to be using Google Chrome to have it as a plugin on your web browser. At least I believe that's the case. But it's the easiest thing to go into a business owner and say, look, I know you're probably reluctant to use Facebook ads, or I know you're probably reluctant to even believe me that any of this will work. But, I was doing an audit of your website. I told you I would come here with this audit, and we're going to discuss it with you today, because that's what you usually should be doing in the first meeting. Going through this audit, I just noticed several things that you could easily do right now that will help your campaigns perform better. I don't know if you're currently spending on Facebook ads or not. I hope you are. But if you are spending on Facebook ads, then I need to suggest that you do this right now, but you need to get the Facebook Pixel installed on your website. Because that Pixel Helper tool will tell you whether it is installed on their website or not. It's a great tool for that specific purpose. Like, it literally will show a business owner, and then from there you say, well, look, Mr. Business Owner, you're running Facebook ads, but you don't even have this tool on your site. This tool is what allows you to remarket to people who visited this sales page. So if you have, let's say it's like, again, we'll just go to the chiropractor, neck services, and you're having people visit your sales page for neck problems, you can actually send a specific message to those people who looked at, neck pain issues or neck pain services, and send them a message saying, hey, we'll give you 25% off your first neck adjustment if you come in the next month. Give them a decent amount of time to take up that offer, and then that will drive them into the store. Like that's what business owners don't see, though, and that's what you're able to take in and give them that little piece of information. So if the Facebook Pixel Helper tool trick doesn't work, with real estate agents, again, one of the biggest things is making sure that they show up in their local market. So focusing your campaign on local SEO to make sure that they show up in search engine results. And not only that, but a strong brand awareness or brand reach campaign across any platform is going to do wonders for them. And it, just showing them the value in remaining consistent in their campaigns, explaining to them, because you're not really explaining to them, they're already aware, but real estate agents forget that being top of mind is their biggest game. Because with things like Zillow and Trulia and all of these home apps out there that help you find a home or things like that, it becomes difficult for you to be the first person that someone reaches out to. But some people out there still do look for a real estate agent first. So when it does come time for them to type in real estate agent Atlanta or Dallas or New York or wherever it is that you live or your client lives, you want to be the one showing up in those search engine results, so they're driving leads, right? So just make sure that you truly understand what it is that you're selling and what's going to be valuable to them. I think that's going to be the biggest thing to help you guys. Danny, my biggest thing to you, because I'm going to get to the question here in a second, wrap it up, but the biggest thing to you that I want to say is it's all about setting expectations properly. You need to explain to them, especially if they're not doing anything currently, look, you're not doing anything. We have to get all this created. It doesn't just happen in 2 weeks. Not good stuff, right? You want stuff that's actually going to work. You want content and quality that's going to produce results. So that being said, it's going to take us at least a month to do this the right way. No $1 million business is just overnight making tens of thousands of dollars when previously they were only making $1,000, right? You have to, it's setting expectations properly. That's the biggest thing that you need to understand there. Scott Dunstan, yes, the course is coming out soon. It's going to be at the end of this month. All right, guys. So now that we're done, I need you guys to do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button if you are ready to play the mentorship giveaway game. Also, I need you to write in the comments yes, I am ready to play. Because if you don't write in the comments that you're ready to play, then you won't get to qualify when we actually give away the winner. So write yes in the comments if you're ready to play. I guess maybe I didn't say that. We got a few people ready to play. And a yes just works too. You don't have to write yes, I'm ready to play if you don't want to, but just a yes, just so I see that we have people paying attention and that we're ready. Because if I don't see at least 10 people, no, we'll say 12 people right inside of the comments that they're ready, we won't start. We're just going to hang on, and I'm going to sit over here on my phone and be a goofball and not pay attention to y'all. Because maybe I don't want to pay attention to y'all. No, I'm kidding. I definitely want to pay attention to y'all. How many do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Kiana doesn't count twice. 5, 6, 7, 8. Danny, did you already say yeah? Nope. 9. We've got 11. Who's missing? Who didn't write yes? Okay, no, we'll go ahead and do it. Okay. So. Hold on, I'm looking for a question. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what I want the question to be. Oh, we got some more people who decided to comment. Kiana's laughing at me because I called her out. All right, I don't know what to ask a question about, guys. What should I ask a question? Ooh, I know what we're going to do. This one will be fun for me, just because. All right. Oh, wow, I like these thumbnails, guys. Good shit. All right, my team did some good stuff. Okay, guys, so the question is, let's see who can do this first. Actually, no, it's not. It's more of a request, all right? It's a question, but it's a request as well, because I need you to put it in the chat box. What is the URL to my blog page? All right, not an individual blog, but the actual page that hosts all of our blog content. What is the URL for that page? Yep, Martin, it's a requestion. I like that. What is the URL for my blog content? And this is one that anybody, this is as fair as I can get. It doesn't matter if you just hopped in or if you hopped in at the very beginning for this one. You can get it. Any of you can get it. Make sure you get the right link. Nope. SerialEntrepreneur/blog.com. That's not even my URL. SerialEntrepreneur/blog isn't even a possible URL, I don't think. Nope. I'm gonna have to start clicking, aren't I? And I know I can see which ones are and aren't. Somebody's close. That's not the actual. It's very, very simple. Some of y'all are close, but you're not getting the right URL. I know what you're doing. The reason why you're not getting the right URL is because you're going to Google and you're typing in Serial Entrepreneur blog. Just go to my site and click the link for the blog training, or for the blog section. That's the URL that I'm looking for. I'm waiting for you, because nobody's got it right yet. Nobody has it right. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm looking through everybody's, and they don't have the one that I'm looking for. Yep, see, I knew how y'all did it. I'm not dumb. I know exactly how y'all got to the links that y'all are providing. What is this one? What is the WR? Writing a blog series. See, nope, y'all, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to get the right link or else I can't give it away. It's on my freaking what? Like, go to the homepage of my website. You guys are going. Don't go to Google and type it in the search engine. Go to my website on the homepage. That's gonna be the fastest way to find that. I'm giving y'all the answer. And all of y'all have plenty of time now. There's like 17 of y'all here, but I've only had like 8 responses, and a lot of y'all want to win this, so I don't understand. Some people have given 2 responses. You're almost there. You just got to get to the right page. This is going to show you guys how to navigate a website, I'll tell you that much. Because that's the thing, a lot of people don't even know how to navigate the internet. So what I'm about to have to do is tell everybody that we're just going to have to do 2 next week, and I'm going to have to show you guys the answer. It is a little misleading, I guess, in the title that it is on the page, but it's still pretty straightforward if you just went to the site and clicked every link. So, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away 2 next week. 2 mentorship giveaways next week, because I'm going to show you guys how to navigate a website real quick. It's no big deal. That just means 2 people have the chance to win next week. So, wait, somebody put in another link. Let me see if this one's right. Nope, you're so close. But that's not it. All right, time's up. Sorry, guys, you can't win tonight. Nope. All right, guys. So if you go over to my site, and I'm glad I'm doing this. Maybe this is telling me something in that but I've seen other influencers do this too, and it does work out well. At least I know it works well because we get tons of clicks to it. If you click this free training button right here, this is the URL for the main blog page. And look at this. I want you guys to see this too. We've broken this down over here for marketing agency and personal branding. So if you're doing personal branding, here's a bunch of content for you. If you're running a marketing agency, here's a ton of content for you. Look, SEO, scaling, running the business, pricing services, PPC, outsourcing, getting clients, email marketing, content marketing, strategy, social media marketing, 56 articles on social media marketing. You guys, 140 total articles on marketing agency. Just saying, guys, there is a ton of stuff. I know, guys, that's what I'm saying. It was so simple. That's why I kind of feel bad that I can't give away a winner tonight. Wait, which one? No, that's the start here page, bro. That wasn't your answer. I'm sorry. I just clicked your link. See, watch. I'll click it right here on the screen so you can see me click it. You clicked start here. This is free training. That's the blog content. This is a section that just gets people started if you've never done any of this before. That's all. But I'm sorry, that's not what you picked. Pooja says that's her answer. She didn't even answer, so... Check mine, I said it. Nope, still not it. You went to the blog archives. That wasn't the homepage for the blog. And then this one was, yeah, you did the writing a blog series. That wasn't it either. I promise you guys, nobody got it. All right, we're just going to end it here. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was just added over the last week. I don't know why. But I also said the blog homepage. This is the homepage for and I said the homepage for all of my blog content. So this is what I was referring to. I might have made that confusing. I'm sorry, but we're going to give away 2 next week. I promise. Dude, Jesus, I've already checked both of them. That's the start here. Where's your second answer? You don't have a second answer. You have 1 answer on here. I'm looking at all of the links. So, I promise you, 10:03 p.m. I posted the link. Yeah, she's lying too. All right, I'm done answering questions about people lying. We're going to give away 2 next week. I promise. I'm sorry you guys didn't win. Next time I will make it something that apparently isn't so hard. Wait. I'm not answering that. I'm not entertaining it anymore. Nobody had the links right. I checked all of the links. Sorry, guys. All right. We're going to give away 2 next week. I'm sorry nobody won. But we give away courses all the freaking time. So just keep coming back. I promise you. You'll have the chance to win one. But Jason Beats is saying check his too. I didn't see. Jason says people are looking it up. I don't see another one from Jason. Maybe I'm not getting stuff in my, like... He said, bro, I said, check it. So, in case you don't know, guys, live streams are every Thursday night at 9 p.m. EST. Same time, same bat time, same bat channel every single week. So, if you guys want to check in next week, make sure you get here on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just waiting. I'm checking all these links again because I know. Like, I can see the first letter, S, start here. Martin to Martin. No. That wasn't the right link either. No, 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 no. No, no, and no. Definitely not serialentrepreneur/blog.com. Although that was funny. I know no one got it, Martin DeMarte. I promise you, no one got it right. But you guys have a great evening. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you all have a great weekend, or a great rest of your week and a great weekend. But I will see you guys next Thursday. So until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.